Gentlemen, welcome back here to the Fort Bend Youth Sports Hour. I'm here with Coach Irvin, the mastermind behind the Sophmore Broncos. Coach Irvin, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, sir. Doing great.
Coach Irvin, real quick, tell us, what can we expect here out of this 2010 sophomore team coming into this season?
Well, I think you're going to expect the boys to give a lot of effort.
Okay.
I mean, you know, we're not expecting them to win every game, but we want to come out here and enjoy these 9-year-old boys, help form them to become champions on and off the field.
Okay.
And expect them to give effort.
Coach, they say you're a very disciplinarian when it comes to these kids. Why is discipline so important in football to you?
Well, discipline clearly is important because you've got 11 men on the field working together, and they each have to know their roles in order for the team to function.
Okay.
Right? Because it's not an individual sport, so all 11 guys have to make their assignments, execute their assignments in order for that to work as a team.
You said something key, Coach. You said it's not an individual sport. When a lot of people look at a player like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, and they think they're doing it by themselves, but tell us why it's a team sport, even though Peyton Manning shines and Tom Brady shines, but he needs the team to shine.
Absolutely. I mean, because Peyton Manning is only as effective as his receivers catch the ball, and or as effective as his offensive line is in
that's the big key, right?
To pass the ball and look downfield and pick that open receiver. So I mean, it is not just them. Clearly, they're gifted quarterbacks, but they're really only as good as their offensive line and the rest of the team.
Coach, when I talked to Dr. Muhammad, he said you're one of the guys that he depends on because you have fire. What does your fire come from, Coach?
Well, I mean, I got a competitive spirit, clearly, and I'm like to win just like everybody else. Right. And I want to still winning and being a champion in the kids and that aggressive nature, but yet still be classy and still be winners on and off the field.
Do you believe that whether winning a Super Bowl or not, will what your players start the day they start to the day that they finish, do you think they can still be champions whether they win it on the field or not, just in attitude-wise?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that's what the Broncos organization is about. We don't have to win every game. I don't have to win because I'm successful in life. I don't need to win through my children or any of these boys. They're 9 years old. We only have a few more years, years in their youth before they grow up and get their first girlfriends. Right. Or go into junior high, high school.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
quit
sir.
listening to the parents. So,
yes, sir.
I'd like to have fun with it and teach them some things because 5 years, it's quick.
Yes, sir.
It goes by and then they're going to be gone.
All right.
So
you're right.
we want to enjoy it, but we definitely want to instill values and attitude and classiness and championship qualities.
All right. Well, Coach Irvin, some of your players and everything here. Let's introduce them, Coach.
You bet. We got Elijah Collins.
Okay.
What's up?
How you doing, Elijah?
Good.
What position you play?
I play nose guard, fullback, middle linebacker, guard.
Okay. So tell me, Coach Irvin, you've been with him for a few years now. What has Coach Irvin taught you? You're out here in camp. You're getting your conditioning and everything in. What have you learned from Coach Irvin so far?
Nothing really.
That's a good answer. Good answer.
So if whatever Coach Irvin tells you, are you going to make sure you try to do it? And because he's telling you that for the better.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. All right. Who else we got, Coach?
We got Travis Irvin, my son.
Travis Irvin. Now you're Coach's son.
Yes,
that's
sir.
your dad right there. I know he's always pushing you. What have you learned from your dad?
ACE. Attitude, concentration, and effort.
Attitude, concentration, and effort. Coach, why is concentration? Because like you say, you have the 9-year-olds.
That's right.
Attention span is very short. Why is concentration important?
Well, concentration is clearly important because you're going to call a play in the huddle, and it's going to be whatever it is. So everyone's got to concentrate, understand what the play is, and then execute it. So I ask the kids to be aces.
Okay.
Because if they give me attitude, everything's great. If they give me concentration and effort.
Okay. Okay. Then who else we have right here?
We have Mr. Malik Harrison.
How you doing, Mr. Harrison? How's everything going?
Great.
So what position do you play, Mr. Harrison?
Quarterback, running back.
Oh, you're the man.
Defensive back.
Sometimes defensive.
Okay.
And defensive back.
Okay. So how are you going to listen to Coach Irvin to make sure you do everything right?
Well, I just have to pay attention and just give my ear, listen, and just give it, and just pay attention with my ears.
Okay.
And always listen.
All right, Mr. Irvin Jr., is discipline important? Because I know your dad preaches discipline. Is discipline important to you on the football field?
Well, of course it is. Because my dad's always saying I need to be more aggressive. So I can, just run through a guy.
Okay. Well, this year, do y'all have a team good enough to possibly make the Super Bowl?
Yes, I actually do believe in me. We have some speed. We have some big kids. Like Elijah, he can truck anybody.
Okay. So, and what position do you play, Mr. Irvin?
I play running back, but then I went to cornerback.
Okay.
I used to play linebacker, and I'm playing halfback.
Okay, and Mr. Elijah, last year you played on the freshman. This year you're on the sophomore. You know it's going to be a little bit hard this year, but is your team good enough to get there?
Yes.
You guarantee it?
Yes.
All right then, Coach Irvin, I see a lot of your players, you have them playing different positions, and that's actually pretty good so they won't just get comfortable with one position. Why?
Well, I mean, again, they're 9 years old. They've got plenty of time to grow.
Yes, sir.
And everyone grows at different and matures at different ages. So the idea is to give them good fundamentals and let them kind of think about the game in various positions.
Coach, you said something very key right there when you said fundamentals. When we look at the high school teams around here, you can tell when they get to the playoffs who's fundamentally sound, who's not. If you look at the Katy Tigers year after year after year, they're always in the championship game. Right. This is because they learn the fundamentals from these ages right here.
Absolutely. I mean, anyone that knows the Katy program knows that the boys start in the youth football and then they run the same offense and defense more or less for 6 years or whatever before they get to the high school ranks.
Yes, sir.
So that clearly is a leg up. So if you can learn the fundamentals and be sound in that, you definitely have a much better advantage of executing at an older age.
At the end of the day, Coach, when the season is over, your guys have taken the field for the last time, whether it's in the Super Bowl or the playoffs. What do you want to accomplish from this team?
Again, I think, success is obviously measured in many different ways. Since I'm not being paid, it doesn't mean I have to be measured in wins.
Right.
But I want these young men to be aces on the field again, which is kind of our motto this year, attitude, concentration, and effort. If these kids can line up every time and give me 100% effort,
they're ace.
And that's right, and they become the aces. And then not only if they do that, then they can do that in school, they can do that anywhere they go. As long as they, know what they're doing, they can be an ace.
Real quick before we leave, you got anything to say to the league?
School comes first.
All right, then.
Better watch out because Broncos this year coming after y'all.
That's what I like hearing. Quarterback.
Broncos gonna take it all the way.
Coach Irvin, thank you very much. Congratulations, and I'll see you during the season, Coach. Thanks, Coach Irvin.